Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone podcast. My name is Kathy. On March 24th, which was yesterday, the court released several of the state of Idaho's replies regarding motions in limine. The deadline for the filing of all of the replies per Judge Hippler's court order of January 31st, 2025 is March 24th, so we await the release, hopefully, of several more replies. Let's get to one of these early replies. It is entitled, State's Reply to Defendant's Reply to State's Opposition to Motion in Limine 11 regarding excluding IGG evidence. And it says here that the state is coming forward and submitting the following reply. To the March 17th defense filing relative to the exclusion of IGG evidence. Bottom line here being, the state will be meeting with its prosecution and investigative team to identify who will testify about the receipt of a, quote, tip on or about December 19th, 2022, and the subsequent actions taken by investigators in the state, and advise the court and counsel. And this has to do with the tip that was received by the investigative team as testified to by Detective Brett Payne in the transcript from the January 23rd, 2025 hearing on a motion for suppression of evidence. And you can read that transcript. It is on the court docket. There, in a nutshell, Detective Payne testified that on the evening of the 19th of December, 2022, that the investigative team received a tip from the feds to look at Brian C. Kohberger. This is what this tip is talking about leading up to the affidavit of probable cause signed by Detective Brett Payne on December 29th, 2022, that led directly to Mr. Kohberger's arrest the following day, December 30th, 2022, in Monroe County, Pennsylvania. Now, continuing on, the state here says it is unclear what the defendant means in the last sentence of his reply, which says, since this, and going on to page 2 of this filing, testimony will be sanitized for presentation to the jury to avoid the IGG process, it must also not falsely suggest that there was any other evidence or tip that led the state to Mr. Kohberger. That is a direct quote from Bicca Barlow's filing on behalf of the defense. This continues. There is substantial evidence, quote, gathered both prior to the tip and subsequently, leading to Mr. Kohberger being the person responsible for the November 13th, 2022 homicides and burglary. The state will certainly not falsely produce or refer to this other evidence, but will rely on all of the evidence at trial to establish the defendant's guilt. So what this may be appearing to say is that the state received evidence prior to the tip. This was not mentioned in the transcript that was filed relative to Detective Payne's testimony. This filing continues to demonstrate that the upcoming hearings on the motions in limine before Judge Stephen J. Hippler are an absolute must for anyone who is seriously interested in the case. Please look at the court docket to review the filings. The hearings on the motions in limine are set to commence on the 9th of April, 2025. This is Kathy. Thank you for joining us here today.